Hey guys, I'm Mikey, I'm back here for the video guys. Today we'll be looking at all 10 of these rookie premier players and tell you which are the best players to complete. Now keep in mind this video is based on truly my opinion and my opinion only, meaning I could be wrong, I could be very right. This is just what I think and how I feel. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. So guys, obviously we will not be looking at Madden right now because we cannot see the stats of these players, and obviously the stats do not matter. We are talking about next year and how they will develop as a prospect. But I want to go ahead and take 1 second to glance over every one of these players' stats so you can also get a kind of look at what the players are looking like in Madden. So let's take a look starting at Marquise Brown, starting off with his 99 speed. Of course, that's pretty much the best attribute about him. 99 catching, obviously very nice, at 99 deep route running. Darnell Savage comes in with 97 speed, 98 zone coverage. Next guy we have here is going to be Devon Bush. Again, all these players being 99 overalls. We have Kyle Murray coming in right here. We have DeAndre Baker. We have Josh Jacobs, Nick Bosa, TJ Hawkinson, Quentin Williams, and Chris Livingston. Now, taking a look at last year's rookie premier players, we did go ahead and see that we got some upgrades, not too many, but we did get some upgrades. Not too many crazy great upgrades. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they're looking like. So, rookie premier, I had all 10 last year, so it's actually a good example of looking at all of them compared to each other. So, our best player we got rookie premier wise was Saquon Barkley. We got Leighton Vander Esch coming in at 96 overall. We got Quentin Nelson, 96. We have Roquan Smith coming in at 95. We have Derwin James at 94. Desnell Wood at 94. Bradley Chubb, 94. Hayden Hurst is 93. 93 overall Calvin Ridley. And Sam Darnold at 93. Now, this is not the video for somebody who's going to do all 10 of these and say, I don't care, I'm just doing all 10 for that reason. This is not the video for you. This is the video for the person who only can do 1 or 2 of these because either you don't have coins, you don't have the time to grind, whatever may be the case, you cannot do all of them. That is what this video is for, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, do not do Hollywood Brown. Okay, going into last year, I really recommended everyone did Hayden Hurst. And the reason why was because Joe Flacco was projected to be the starter for the whole entire season. Hayden Hurst was our first-round draft pick. I am a Ravens fan. It was our first-round draft pick, and Joe Flacco loved to target his tight ends. That all ended up being true until Joe got benched in week 12, week 13 because of an injury. But Mark Andrews, our 4th-round pick tight end, ended up being the star of the show, not Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst ended up being nothing. So, with that in mind, this is nothing to do with that situation. Do not select Hollywood Brown. He's coming into training camp already injured, okay? He's already has an injury going into the season. If you know anything about speedy receivers or quick receivers, Tavon Austin, I almost said Sammy Watkins, Marquise Goodwin, a lot of these speed demons, John Ross, for example, they get injured a lot quicker than I feel like other receivers. And the reason why is because they're the speed. They tear their ACLs very quickly. Jamal Charles is a good example. Even though they're amazing athletes and they have all these great qualities, they get injured, I feel like, a lot easier than other wide receivers. Now, that's not like based on science or anything. I'm just saying, based on watching football, a lot of the speed demons, they seem to have issues in college with injuries, and they seem to have issues in the NFL with injuries. Now, beside that point, Lamar Jackson's the quarterback. I have no issue with Lamar. I love Lamar, but the man can't throw the ball like most quarterbacks, okay? He's not that good at throwing yet. He will develop into a good passer, but we're not talking about, this card is not for the next 7 Maddens. This is for next Madden. And next year, the Ravens will struggle. Lamar will step up as a quarterback and step up as a passer, but having a speed demon, I really do not think he's not going to be able to catch 60-yard touchdowns from Lamar. So the only way he's going to score touchdowns is end arounds and trick plays. And if he gets hurt again, which could happen because he's going into the season hurt, do not do Marquise Brown. he is not the guy to go with. My opinion only, but I do not believe you should do him. Kyle Murray. Now, this is actually going to last season. We had Sam Darnold. Now, he got a 93 overall in the end. I believe that was from the Christmas or the Halloween promo. Nonetheless, though, he did get a 93 overall, but he did not have the greatest season. And if it wasn't for a couple promos, he probably wouldn't have gotten a 93 overall. My opinion is, though, I would not go ahead and go with Kyle Murray. And the reason why is because he's going into the system that, that Josh Rosen was in last year. Josh Rosen was, and in my opinion, I don't have any hate toward Josh Rosen, but I believe he was in a crap system. He was in a crap area. He did not have the weapons around him to be able to win games. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald's great and all, don't get me wrong, but other than Larry Fitzgerald, name a Cardinals wide receiver. I'll wait. David Johnson can't be everything. And for a rookie quarterback, either if it's, Josh Rosen or Kyle Murray already having issues with his height going into the game. There's a lot of issues with that. It's going to be a crap show. I think the Cardinals will not have a good season. And with that in mind, I think it's going to be really difficult for him to develop as a quarterback and develop as fast as a quarterback to get cards in Madden as fast as he can. So, my opinion is, do not go with Kyle Murray. That's number 2. So, let's go ahead and talk about Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs is in a good situation, in my opinion. He is going to be behind Marshawn Lynch, and Marshawn Lynch is old as a dinosaur. With that in mind, he's going to have a great situation to be able to, really provide a decent running game in Oakland. Now, based on previous years and based on previous years' knowledge, what we've seen in Oakland is that they like to run multiple halfbacks. It's not just a one-back set. This is not a Pittsburgh Steelers Le'Veon Bell getting 70 touches a game, pretty much. This is not the case with Oakland. They like to run multiple halfbacks. I believe they had, I cannot remember the guys off the top of my head, the names, but they had like 3 different running backs last year that were actually, utilized. But they do have Antonio Brown now, so they will be able to open the passing game more. I would say, and this is going to be kind of weird, but Josh Jacobs would be one of the guys I would look at if you really want to get you really want to invest into a running back to next year. But personally speaking, I do like the idea of investing into a running back for the next season, especially early on, because he will probably have like a 74. So it's 74 overall. So he'll have a 74 overall, which won't be the worst in the world, especially day one. But you could do better. But I recommend going ahead, and if you really want a running back, Josh Jacobs is not a bad option in my opinion. TJ Hawkinson, I did not look at the Denver's depth chart, but I do believe he will also have he'll probably have a pretty good season. I know Stafford likes to target tight ends. I know he likes to get down the field as quick as possible with like bigger targets. Nonetheless, though, Detroit has no running game. They have never had a running game. Now, Kerryon Johnson this year could be the difference to that, and he could really change that stuff around and actually make, them have a running game. But until that happens, they're going to be pass first and pass happy. This guy is going to get a lot of targets. He's going to get a lot of, everyone's going to get a lot of targets, but he's going to be able to have the best chance possible out of pretty much any of these players, in my opinion, to really be able to thrive in a system. So, 1 and 2, TJ Hawkinson and Josh Jacobs, definitely a good guys to go with. Now, Chris Livingston, I'm not sure if he is actually the starters. I'm going to look at real fast, see if he is a starter for the Falcons, because the Falcons have a good offensive line. So I'm not sure 100% if he's going to be the starter day one. He actually is. Okay, so he will be the starter day one. Now, the good thing about offensive linemen is that we have the heavyweight set, and this applies to defense and offensive linemen, is that we have a heavyweight set, and the heavyweight set actually gives them the chance to be able to get cards throughout the season. So even though they might not start off with the best cards, throughout the season they will be getting upgrades guaranteed from the heavyweight set. Now, the heavyweight set, I believe it went to like 94, 93, 94 overall. So, obviously, it's not going to give him cards the whole entire season. But unless he gets a Team of the Year card like Quentin Nelson did, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But he's not the worst option in the world. Definitely worse options than him. Definitely Marquise Brown is a lot worse than Chris Livingston. I wouldn't personally do his set. Just because I believe a couple years back, we had Garrett Bowles, who was the Denver's left tackle. He got a rookie premier card, and he didn't get much upgrades at all. I believe at the end of the season was like a 72 overall, his final upgrade. And, of course, that was before EA would put more stock into, these rookie premier players. But, nonetheless, though, I would not do this card. Quentin Williams, again, another one like the offensive lineman. Very difficult to do just because you never know what's going to happen other than, heavyweight sets, which I got to say that is a plus in these guys' favor, is heavyweight sets does go ahead and give them more chances to get cards. Let me just make sure. Actually, I don't think it's called heavyweights for defense, is it? I believe it is, but let me check real fast. Heavyweights. Let me just make sure I'm not incorrect. Yeah, actually, heavyweights all for defense too. So, Quentin Williams, though, again, same concept starting out. He does start out at 77 overall, so that does help you out day one. But overall-wise, I do not believe he'll get too many crazy upgrades. So I would go ahead and stay clear of both of these guys, but I would not stay clear of Nick Bosa. I don't know why, but Bradley Chubb last year got to a 94, and I feel like EA just loves giving defensive linemen cards. I don't know why. I just feel like they do. They love giving defensive lineman cards, and I definitely feel like he's going to get a lot of cards. He's going to be able to sell packs because he's, Joey Bosa's brother. He's going to be able to sell packs. He's a high name. He's an expensive name. I think he's going to be getting cards. For that reason, I would go ahead and go with Nick Bosa. I went with Devon Bush here, and actually, if you did not see my video earlier, I actually did him, and I did Darnell Savage in my video. The reason why I went with Devon Bush is because he's going to get a lot of cards. He's going to be in a good system. Pittsburgh, for some reason, EA loves giving Pittsburgh cards. Look how many cards Pittsburgh has this year in MUT 19. He's going to be in a good system in Pittsburgh. They always utilize the middle linebackers. Shazier is not coming back this season. He is still out with injury. He's eyeing to come back. I read that he is eyeing to come back. He thinks he hopes he's going to get in Hall of Fame eventually someday, but he's not back yet. He's going to come back eventually, but this man, Devon Bush, next year can thrive in Pittsburgh's system. He's either the number 1 or number 2 middle linebacker, but definitely recommend doing him. DeAndre Baker. New York Giants defense is not the worst. They lost Landon Collins, and they're definitely not the best. He's going to have a decent season. He might end up being like Eli Apple, who, if you do not know, failed in New York and ended up going to New Orleans. Personally speaking, I would not do his set. I would honestly really just stay away from his set. He starts at a 70 overall next year, and I don't know how many upgrades he's really going to be getting, in all honesty. Darnell Savage, I do recommend doing this set because obviously KIDZ, who is a amazing player, did thrive in Green Bay's system. And I'm not saying any free safety is going to thrive in Green Bay's system. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they did have Charles Woodson. He was a cornerback for them, I think, but he was free safety in Oakland. Nonetheless, though, I do think he's going to have a great season. I do think he's going to go ahead and get a lot of cards. So my personal opinion, let me go ahead and recap this. I kind of gave my, thoughts and opinions of each of these cards and who I think and why I think you should go with them and not go with them. So if we're going to go ahead and say, who's the number 1 guy you should go with? Who's the number 1 guy that you should get? My opinion would be Devon Bush. I do believe you should get Devon Bush. I believe he's going to have some pretty good speed next year with some of his upgrades, and I think he's going to have a really good season. Next one would be Darnell Savage. If you already have Devon Bush or you just don't want Devon Bush, Darnell Savage would be number 2. Number 3 would be Nick Bosa. I think he is always a great option. Number 4 would be TJ Hawkinson. I think he'll also be a very good option. Number 5 would be Josh Jacobs. Number 6 would be Quentin Williams. Number 7, Chris Livingston. Number 8, DeAndre Baker. Number 9, Kyle Murray. And finally, number 10, Marquise Brown. And if I could put him at number 11, I would. But I can't. And I am a Ravens fan. I'm very excited to see what he does. But I do not think he's going to get a lot of cards. I do not think he's going to have a fantastic season. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe button. See you guys next one. Peace out.